Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome to yet another edition of Pictionary Production, brought to you by IIUMTV Series 7 Episode 3, where it's all about the ringgit. My name is Muhammad Nur Iman bin Bahari, and tonight I will be your handsome host in helping you guys, our beloved viewer, navigate and guide through tonight's topic of discussion being Spotlight on Integrity, IIUM Integrity Week 2024 and ABMS Certification Presentation. Now, as some of you might agree or disagree on my upcoming statement, our current society actually does not emphasize more on good qualities or good moral values, and instead we uphold such negative values being corruption, obsession, lies, and deceit. So it is very fulfilling to understand that we have responsible individuals who believe that they can challenge this status quo and also help bring change and growth in terms of the very quality of integrity itself within individuals, especially us students. So without further delay, I believe you guys can join me in inviting our guests for today, Brother Alif Daniel and Sister Sophia Marisa. So thank you for agreeing to join and also answer a few questions we might have on IIUM Integrity Week. I say I like the outfit, Brother Alif Daniel.
Thank you so much.
So as the old song goes, wise man says only fools rush in. So before we go further into the topic of discussion for tonight and our conversation regarding IIUM Integrity Week, maybe we can hear more about both of your backgrounds and maybe what your role is in IIUM Integrity Week. Maybe we can start with Brother Alif Daniel, if you please.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to address thanks to Brother Iman for hosting our session tonight. And not forgotten to our IIUMTV for inviting me to this tonight's live session, which is for me, I'm feel grateful here because it is my first time on this chair, and it gives me a new experience, new vibe that I bet it is an unforgettable memory that I couldn't get at any place. So and it is best for me, I guess, to quote a famous Malay quote here, which is tak kenal maka tak cinta. And so here I am. I'm Alif Daniel as a president of IIUM, and here I also hold the position as program manager for Sang Theatre, and the last one, I'm also assistant program manager for Integrity Week. Okay, and not just that. For your information, I'm also from ICOL in my second year, second SEM.
I see. 𝗥𝗡𝒉. Now, Sister Sophia Marisa, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. I would also like to address my thanks to our dear brother, Brother Iman, for being the host for today. And I would also like to thank the community of IIUMTV for inviting us for this special day. I am much excited as our Brother Alif here. I'm excited to be here. And for a little bit of an introduction, so I am Sophia Marisa. I'm from Kuliah of Economics and Management Sciences, currently third year, second semester, and I'm from the Department of Economics. For this program, for CAM's Integrity Project, I am Secretary 1. And for Integrity Week, on the other hand, I'm part of the event management team. So that's it about me. I will enjoy today's.
What a charismatic duo, won't you agree, the beloved viewers? Now, I can't help but notice, Brother Alif Daniel, that you're wearing a Hang Tuah aesthetic-like outfit for today. It feels like I'm on set for the sequel of 𝐷𝗏𝗏𝗏 actually. So, can you actually explain more to the audience the inspiration on your outfit today? Maybe it has something to do with the upcoming IIUM Integrity Week. Maybe it's its theme, maybe it's its core values that relate to traditional Malay.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Iman. Okay, first of all, when you said about Hang Tuah just now, when we said about Hang Tuah, it sparks in my mind about a synonym characteristic or the character about Hang Tuah itself, which is in our society it's very synonym about Hang Tuah, where we know the Hang Tuah is a legendary warrior for Malay communities in 15th century, which is if we go dive in the 15th century there is a Malacca Sultanate in that century. And for your information, in this Integrity Week we bring a new theme, which is we want to relate about the rise and fall of Malacca Sultanate with the integrity, which is if you can see when we go into the history, back to the history, we can see that the fall of the Malacca Sultanate, which before that it is a prominent government in Southeast Asia, but how this prominent government can collapse, it's due to the integrity, due to the corruption that happens in the government itself.
I see.
Okay.
So I'm more of a Hang Jebat myself, but I do agree on the core values of Hang Tuah himself. With possessing integrity, we can raise a civilization to its peak. Without it, it can collapse inevitably. So, Sister Sophia, I have a question for you. Considering your position within the IUM Integrity Week in itself, can you actually explain the conception of the idea and also the development from the idea itself into execution of said idea into what we will understand, which is to come IUM Integrity Week? Can you please elaborate more on that?
Alright, so for me to start talking about Integrity Week is going to be quite long because I want to talk about the initiator of Integrity Week, which is 𝐶AM's Integrity Project.
I see.
So if you guys don't know 𝐶AM's Integrity Project, it's okay, I'll explain to you. Established in 2022, it is an initiative found by the Department of Finance, founded by our dearest lecturers with the goal, or should I say objective, to instill an integrity-based culture amongst the committee members of the university. So one day our finance lecturers, they got inspired by the idea of Japan, because we know that Japan is a very high integrity-based society. So they thought to themselves, we have a plan. We have a plan to integrate this. Why not do it in our own university? So that's how 𝐶AM's Integrity Project was born. Our main goal throughout the whole tenure is to instill these moral values, to foster them within our community itself. So that is how Integrity Week was created, because we of course would want a platform, a specific platform where we want to spread the awareness of our project, our objective towards the wider society of IIUM.
I see.
So that is how 𝐶AM's Integrity Project was created.
So there was a vision,
there was a
mission, and so there was an execution.
Yeah,
I see.
there was an execution.
So regarding IUM Integrity Week, we've already understand the conceptualization and also how it came to be. But then there is a core question in which it needs to be addressed for any inquiries or confusion towards the viewers, which is why exactly was it thought to be a good idea and thought to should be invested and also executed, because most of our students don't believe that quality-based events such as maybe IUM Integrity Week is a good idea or maybe a good time to invest themselves in it, whether it be time, energy, or their very own participation. So could you elaborate more? Maybe there's a philosophical reasoning to why IUM Integrity Week is thought of and also invested in.
Philosophical reasoning?
Maybe just not philosophical reasoning. Maybe just a reason in itself lah. Maybe it's because the students here lack integrity, or maybe you want to promote good characteristics within students. So maybe you can elaborate more on that.
So of course, I think that our main goal is to promote good characteristics among the students, because we as moreover the fact that we are a Islamic university in itself, so of course we would want to try to align with the core principles of UIA, which is to promote good characteristics, core values among students.
Being a good Khalifah.
Being a good Khalifah, yes, that's the example that I was going for.
Alright, so maybe this question can be addressed to Brother Alif Daniel. So what in integrity and in ethics are critical in today's world. So how do you think initiatives like IIUM Integrity Week can actually help develop the students' growth into becoming a better person? So let's just how do you think IIUM Integrity Week helps to build the core characteristic in which we want our students to become better khalifahs?
Okay, so based on the question, I will submit that it is undeniably that integrity and also the ethics is intertwining.
Yep.
They relate together. But when we before we move further into this discussion, right? For me, what I understand in the view of integrity, the meaning of the integrity itself is, for the simple one, we can say that it is you doing a right thing, even it is difficult for you. Okay, so back to the question of the integrity week. How our role here in educating the student itself. So in my opinion, integrity week here serves as a moral compass for the student. The compass that will guide the student to understand better on how it means by the integrity, but what does it mean by the ethics and so on. Okay. So based on this modernized era, we don't confine the integrity just for the student to refuse taking the bribe. Not at all. But in this part of our discussion here is that we want to focus on the students to be more integrity in their academic itself, which is, for example, due to the modernized era, right? We acknowledge that we have so many mediums to get the information, to get idea of writing, have a huge online database for us to make academic research, right? So from this, what's the arising number here is the unethical practice among the academia, which includes the student itself. Okay, so when we see about this thing happen due to the plagiarism, cheating, and also directly using AI contents, that's the really arising number, the emergence of huge number among the students of using that contents. So here we are here to serve the students to be more ethical in doing your research and so on, which from this it also allocates some space in the integrity, not just from refusing the millions of ringgit, refusing to give a direct tender to families, companies, and deposit rakyat's money to for your own enjoyment. Not that all.
I see. So in conclusion, from what we can understand from what is shared between Brother Alif and Sister Sophia is the motive and also the driving factor in which IIUM Integrity Week was actually came into being through its execution and also its development. And so with those information in mind, I guess we can take a 2-minute break so as to help us collect our thoughts and also to help our guests actually construct cohesive and also concise answers to any other question that we might have after the break. So stay tuned. Assalamualaikum.
Implementing integrity in student life isn't just about following rules. It's about building a foundation of trust, respect, and honesty that will guide you throughout your life. Start with honesty. In your academic work, always strive to produce your own original ideas. Avoid the temptation to plagiarize or cheat, even when the pressure is high. True learning comes from grappling with the material and understanding it deeply, not from cutting corners. Next, practice accountability. If you make a mistake, own up to it. Whether it's a missed deadline or a misunderstanding, taking responsibility shows maturity and integrity. Apologize if necessary, and make amends where you can. This builds trust with your peers, teachers, and yourself. Lastly, reflect on your actions regularly. Ask yourself if your behavior aligns with your values and principles. Seek feedback from trusted friends, mentors, or teachers to help you stay on the right path. Remember, integrity is a journey, not a destination. It's about making consistent ethical choices that reflect who you are and who you aspire to be. As you navigate your student life, let integrity be your guide, building a reputation that will serve you well in all aspects of your future. Embrace integrity in your student life. It's more than just a value. It's the key to building a better world, starting with yourself.
Welcome back, dear Pecuniarians. I guess that's not trademark yet. My name is Muhammad Nur Iman bin Bahari, and you're with me and also our beloved guest, Brother Alif Daniel, and also Sister Sophia, in answering and also discussing today's main topic of discussion being the commencement of IIUM Integrity Week 2024, and also spotlight on the quality value of integrity itself. So we have come into the meaty part of our discussion for tonight. If this was a dish, it would be filet mignon right now. So let's continue. So the first inquiry I might have for Sister Sophia is IIUM Integrity Week 2024 is a week-long event, if we are to understand, and as a week-long event, it supposedly should have numerous activities and also things to do during the event in itself that helps promote integrity as a quality, and also maybe other good characteristics that we want in a all-rounding individual. So maybe you can give us more in-depth detail on what some of these activities are actually, and how they may attribute to the quality of integrity itself.
All right, so very interesting question. I'm afraid that we might be here until tomorrow if I start listing it all out. So I'll just go on through some of our very interesting, I would say interesting and main highlights of our Integrity Week, the programs under Integrity Week. So as we know it, Integrity Week 2024 is something special because it will be hosted at the university level. So there are bound to be a lot of exciting and fun programs. So first of all, I would like to, the first ever program that I think it's very out of ordinary, I would say, is
uncommon, you would say.
Uncommon. It's very interesting, in fact. It's our wonderful theatre performance, integrity theatre performance called Sung by AMA IIUM Club in collaboration with IIUM Theatre Club. So which is a crime thriller, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So please be on the lookout for that event, because I heard that the early bird tickets have already sold out apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can't really give out much more details about it because it will probably spoil the mood. So please be on the lookout for more promotions, because I'm pretty sure they will come up with a lot of other promotions for the theatre. So the other program that I would like to highlight, which is I think is one of the most crucial programs under Integrity Week, is regarding our Kota Melaka exhibition. So as you guys know it, our theme is the rise and fall of the Melaka Sultanate. So underneath the Kota Melaka exhibition, there are a lot of exhibitions related to the rise and fall of the Melaka, regarding to its history, I would say. So it will be hosted in foyer at ICC. So there are two parts to its. The first one is the rise of the Melaka Sultanate, which is basically the golden era, and the fall of what caused the Melaka Sultanate to fall down. So there are, I would say, 10 plus exhibitions, student exhibitions created by our students. So visitors, once they go there, they will go on this trip, journey, I would say, to experience the rise and fall in its whole.
Of Kota Melaka in itself.
Yep. So they will get to know the history. They will get to know what actually happened, because we know that history is easily rewritten and it's easily buried, right? So through this theme, we would like to convey the message of what truly happened within the Melaka Sultanate itself, and it's the core fact that the tragic downfall is related to the integrity issue. So that is one of the main highlights, I would say, of Integrity Week. So please be sure to don't miss it out, because I would say our students did very tremendous hard work on their exhibitions.
They were very passionate.
They were very passionate
in itself.
Yep.
So can we cycle back to the mention of the theatre, in which I believe Brother Alif Daniel is quite an expert in the matter. Can you actually elaborate more on why the theatre performance is such an integral part of IIUM Integrity Week in itself? Is it because the content or maybe the play of the theatre actually reflects the lack of integrity or promoting integrity within students, and maybe it's a reminder for students to wake up and actually start cultivating that integrity within themselves, or maybe it's an entirely different reason altogether? So maybe Brother Alif Daniel, you can please explain more on that.
Okay, sure. Actually, your question just now make me flashback on my first ever moment watching the theatre that called Catharsis Theatre. So, what I feel on that theatre is really different from watching the movies, which I bet all of the audience, theatre audience, including me, felt same too. And from this, I would like to share why we choose to make a theatre in this part of the Integrity Week itself. Okay, so in my opinion, okay, theatre here serves as engaging and interactive content for the youngsters here. Okay, and what we say that just now, theatre is not a passive content like a talk or movies. Because why I say that? Because theatre serves in the live performance. When we watch the things in the live performance, it more gives us a vibe. In this era, we call it vibe. It's giving the vibe and so on. When we watch the theatre itself, when there is a lighting stage, combining with the sound, background sound, the sound effect, and also the moods that has been brought by the cast, the actors itself, it will, the combination of those elements make a dynamic situation there, which can, from this, it gives a goosebump for the audience itself. And for your information, for our theatre, our theme is that for the crime, actions, and also the corruptions, which is the action scenes itself, is really can make you goosebump. That's for real, because I already watched the preview theatre.
So this is inside the information, inside the experience of the immersive.
Only that I can spill, not more than that.
Alright. So regarding the exhibition, actually, I believe that Sister Sophia mentioned, I believe it's actually, you've already mentioned that it being an uncommon thing to display, actually, and I quite agree on that matter, because an exhibition on history in itself, to some it may not seem engaging, but I believe the majority of people actually relate to because we as the people of Malaysia actually possess quite a high level of patriotism for our history. I would suggest the notion. So can you explain more on how this exhibition actually contributes to enhancing visitors' understanding of integrity? Because as you mentioned, maybe you can elaborate more on the point of Melaka Sultanate as the embodiment of integrity, the rise and its falls, and also the repercussions behind it. So maybe you can talk more on that point.
Alright, so we all know that the Melaka Sultanate went through various eras. I'll start with the Golden Era. So during this time, the Golden Era, trade was the major economic boost during that time. And Melaka, during that time, they experienced a boom. In economics, we call it a boom, where everything was rising, revenue was coming in, and so on and so forth. So they had major sectors that played a role in contributing to the economic growth, such as aquaculture. Did you know that they were apparently thriving in aquaculture, and agriculture was their main source of food, which strengthened their food security. And then there was a lot more things, such as barter. They had a good barter system going on, and so on and so forth. And then they were at a point where they were thriving so much, and they were capable of levying taxes towards people who would come and go to the Melaka Sultanate, basically traders from across foreign countries, and so on and so forth, be it far away or nearby, something like that. So so they were capable of implementing all these taxes, local taxes, foreign taxes. So the Melaka Sultanate was thriving. But then came the fall, and could you guess what was the...
What guess in a lack of integrity? Is it?
Yes. Specifically, there are a lot of narratives. Among them is because of the lack of integrity
is it because
among
of
the rulers.
the success in itself that that continue to grow within the Malacca society, that they've lost themselves, they've lost the very core values that would make them a successful people.
You're kind of on point. It had something to do with the tax system. So basically, because they were able to implement taxes towards many of foreign countries, there are some narratives regarding this. So for some reason, they were being favorable towards other countries, meaning as in like some specific countries, they didn't implement the taxes. So this had caused a riot, I would say. This had caused disruption in the society. They were unfair. They said that it was unfair judgment towards them. Why did some countries got the tax and some didn't? So those are some of the narrative which caused them to be to their downfall, to their demise, because basically this in itself is a core of an integrity issue, because you are not being truthful, because you are not being fair towards every community.
And thus how the topic of the Malacca Sultanate in itself becomes the mainstay of the exhibition, because as you've mentioned, the very notion of integrity in itself is the driving force, but also the downfall of the Malacca Sultanate itself, which for me personally, I believe it's a very good narrative. And so on that note, I believe we should take another 2-minute break, because these questions have been very technical and also very inspiring, very engaging, and I believe the next set of questions will be equally the same. So maybe we should give the viewers some time to rest themselves, maybe take a little snack before we return after the break. Assalamualaikum.
In a world bustling with distractions and temptations, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But amidst the chaos, there's a beacon that guides us: integrity. Picture this. You're walking down a busy city street. When you spot a wallet lying on the ground, what do? Do you keep walking, ignoring the call of conscience? Or do you stop, pick it up, and seek out its rightful owner? It's in these moments that our character is tested, where the choice between right and wrong hangs in the balance. And it's in these moments that integrity shines brightest. Integrity isn't just a buzzword, it's the backbone of society. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. It's about standing up for what's honest and just, regardless of the consequences. But integrity isn't always easy. It requires courage, the courage to do what's right, even in the face of adversity. It requires empathy, the ability to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and act with compassion. And above all, it requires conviction, the unwavering belief that honesty and integrity are non-negotiable. Because integrity matters. It's what binds us together as a community. It's what builds bridges of trust in a world that's often divided. And it's what reminds us that no matter where we come from or what we believe, we're all in this together. So let's stand tall with integrity as our compass, guiding us towards a brighter, more honest future.
Welcome back, dear viewers, on the topic of discussion for today being IIUM Integrity Week 2024. I'm Muhammad Nur Iman bin Bahari, and with me again, our beloved guest, Sister Sophia, and also Brother Alif. Thank you. So we've reached the more profound part, I would say, of our discussion. Maybe we are centering more than we're going to talk about less on the event, I would say, and more on the principle in why the event is made in itself, which is integrity. So Brother Alif, again, I really like your outfit. I feel like I'm ready to storm the beaches of 1864. I believe at any moment nanti Semera Padi will be playing and we can't do anything about that. So anyways, integrity. We've talked a lot about the driving force of the event, which is integrity in itself. But for you, what do you believe your advice on the matter of integrity itself, on how no matter students, staff, or any other individuals within the IUM as a campus as a whole can help cultivate their sense of integrity? What do you think as an advice can be given?
Okay, so based on the question just now, in putting this concept general, first, I think we need to clarify first about the rights and duties of the person itself. We need to know what our role here. Are we as the student, or are we as the staff, or are we as the lecturers here? So that's the first thing that we need to know on what role that we hold here in order to determine what integrity that we should act, on what kind of integrity, on what spectrum that we need to focus on. Okay, so based on that thing, when we acknowledge our role here, for example, as a student, what our obligation or duties here is that to do, for example, doing assignments. Doing assignment in what way? In earnest way, which is without without having a plagiarism, without using the AI contents directly and so on, which is this thing that we need to focus on. That's on the aspect of the students. When we're moving into the other perspective, for example, like for the staff. On the staff, for example, they need to ensure that they don't skip their office hour at that moment. For example, that I think most of us face that situation, which is after the lunch hour, there is a delay of time and so on.
True.
Yes. On that thing, we all of the entities need to observe that thing. For example, the student, we need to do the assignment correctly in ethical manner, and also the staff, they need to do what has been they need to perform. For example, safeguard their time of the office hour and so on. That's the first thing that we need to clarify, which is on the aspect of rights and duties of the entity. For example, students, staff, and also the lecturers. The second thing is that this program or the academic integrity cannot be developed by one-sided only, which is we need a cohesion, the integration among the stakeholders in IIUM. For example, the three entities, the main entities in IIUM. From this discussion, I will highlight that we need to seek a guidance and also have a clarification among stakeholders. For example, the students. You doing the assignments. When you don't have a clear understanding about the instructions given, you need to consult the instructors. And from that, you can have a clarification on what expectation that the lecturers want from you. From this, we have some sort of the communication among the stakeholders in IIUM. That's for the first part. And in terms of the staff or the lecturers here, we need to observe. We should give a real support, give a wise answer here to inculcate the integrity and also the ethics in this IUM to develop that some sort of the panorama of academic integrity that we need to develop in IUM. That's from my view which is on the first part, rights and duties, and the second one, all of the stakeholders need to work together. All of us need to play their role in order to make this program or the integrity to be inculcated, to be injected in our hearts, which is on seek guidance and also on the parts of clarification.
I see.
Okay.
Now, I agree with your points being inculcating and also cultivating integrity within no matter students, lecturers, or any other positions you have within IUM in itself. As long as you're a responsible individual, you should have the responsibility to actually understand that you have integrity to maintain. Now, with those points in mind, Sister Sophia, as we understand, IUM Integrity is pushing this quality of integrity and taking into account of what Brother Alif has said. How do you think the audience out there can actively engage in the program by endorsing it, and also maybe some other important facts on the event in itself, such as date, time, and also method of participation for interested individuals? So can you please elaborate more on that?
So for how we can motivate them to enter our Integrity Week, basically we in itself, we want to motivate them to have this reliance, self-realization,
Self-realization,
self-realization that integrity is a core concept that has to be implemented through. It is hoped that throughout the theme of the Melaka Sultanate we get to do so, because as I mentioned before, history is very important. We must know our roots so that the history does not repeat itself. So it is hoped that we get to convey our message towards everyone out there that we must not repeat the same mistakes again as our ancestors did. And we must instill this practice of integrity wherever we go, however we do in our daily life, no matter whether you're a student, you're a lecturer, as Alif mentioned just now, you're a staff. You have to have this core principle that as in Islam we would call it God consciousness.
God consciousness.
Whereby whatever you do, you have to know that Allah is always watching you. So that's how we can motivate the audience to join, to hopefully participate Integrity Week 2024. So for more details regarding Integrity Week, basically we will be starting our program with Amar's Theatre, which is sung on 23rd May, which is next week, or at 8 p.m. And then for the main events, which I mentioned just now, for the Kota Melaka exhibition, there are also other events that I did not mention yet, where I'll mention now. The online quiz. There will also be food booths and bazaars out there as well. There will also be a costume competition, and there will be many fun activities. And one of the bigger activities is also the esports competition. Yeah, which we will be inviting in collaboration with IIUM Esports Club, as well as Maxis. Nice. So be sure to participate in it next week. The date is on 27th to 30th May.
Alright, so you guys can mark on your calendars 27th and 30th of May. We'll be having our IEM Integrity Week 2024. It's going to be an exciting event. We've got esports competition, we have exhibitions, we have historical outlying values, not to mention theatre. I've become more of a theatre buff now. Anyways, for this final question, we would say, how do you think this event, Brother Alif Daniel, will have a positive impact not only within the IIM community in itself, but maybe beyond IIM itself? Maybe its influence and outreach can also take into account of the people not directly responsible with IIM.
Okay. Actually, your question just now made us to spill more about Integrity Week. Okay, but never mind.
Okay.
I will share to you guys because it is a special session for us. So I would like to spill a bit about our Integrity Week.
Insider information, you would say.
Yes.
Okay, for that thing, for your information, this Integrity Week is not only involve your IIUM students, not only involve IIUM staff or lecturers, but it also involve the students from other universities. And not just that, we're also inviting the corporates, the government agency also to come here together, and we want to share about the integrity, which the main theme for this Integrity Week for our discussion is secret. That's for that thing, you need to come to our talk on the main day.
So you guys
so
you guys have to stay tuned and go participate in itself in the event if you guys want to know the secret. Now I believe we've covered a lot on the topics of integrity, IIM Integrity Week 2024, from its conception, from its idea to its exhibitions, and also the activities that revolve around it, to the very core integral part of the event in itself, which is maintaining and also cultivating the quality and personage of being an person with integrity. A very wide variety of things we've talked about in tonight's discussion. So I believe we can wrap up our talk for tonight. Thank you so much to our beloved guests, Brother Alif Daniel and Sister Sophia. And thank you to you, the viewers, who have been staying tuned from the early start of our live to our upcoming end. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow IIUMTV's very own social medias, which include Instagram, with Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, and also Facebook. I'm Muhammad Nur Iman bin Bahari, and I guess that's the end of tonight's Pictionary Production, Episode 3, Session 7. Thank you. Bye.